homemade instruments. He plays up a bit from time to time. It's an apple box. It doesn't really matter that it's in tune. And I'm not a musician. Ladies and gentlemen, the people. Sophie Ambeck lives in rural Denmark on a lonely farm with her mother, making books and milking cows, all dressed in white. But then sometimes, because of an ancient fairy tale curse, and the wind's all howling, and the milk all turns sour, she disappears, shape-changing in the dead of night into an urban artist creature. Lives in Stoke Newington with the evil necromancer who has stolen her heart and carried her off to his wolf-pelt bed, there to make more books, laser-cut and immaculate, that win prizes. At the stroke of midnight, disappear in a whiff of smoke across the North Sea back to Jutland, the divided heart stitched up by salty thread. Book fairs aren't the same since I gave up smoking, because I would meet Sarah Bodman outside the back door, breathing the iced taste of cool consulate, the scent of smouldering break-time snogs behind the bike shed, age 15. So heroically generous of spirit, helping all our fellow artists. I hope they're grateful. The art world mover and shaker behind the book fair back door. I hope they're grateful. Sarah drinks pints of red wine. Life is for laughing. Bristol to the core.
Discovered Tanya at an artist book conference, and we recruited her to oversee our gloriously hypothetical artist book yearbook nation. Miraculously, out of paper and spit, she walked that crop of notion into a sturdy bridge over previously insurmountable caverns. But I still remember with a smile the look on the Arts Council lackey's face when Tanya told her where she could stick her grant, when she dared criticise our noble and valiant struggle on behalf of our fellow artists. Out here it's hot. Out here it's hot. I pour with sweat, but I'll stick it. Cause I'm in your debt. These bygone days I can't forget. These lyrics are not finished yet. Joxy true, I met you on my first day at school, and you catapulted cannonballs of mash and stew towards me. My first day, scar-eyed, gap-toothed, said somebody had stabbed him up down Hammersmith Way. Me and McKean and him, glory days of our youth, much reminiscing over gassy beers, miraculously still the best of friends after all these years. Here it's hot, I pour with sweat, but I'll stick it, cause I'm in your debt. These bygone days I can't forget. These lyrics
a fairy tale. He's waving down the driver's side window, Sunday driver's wheel, spasms, weaving in and out their Sunday lives. See it flash before their eyes, but ha ha ha! It's only plastic. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! It's only plastic. He's run off with the gypsies by some character from a fairy tale. Must have bought his son a plastic gun at a car boot sale. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Ow! Toby Neville! Toby Stagger! You all better run. Now the tall chap, the very tall chap. This one's about the tall chap. Stand here in the front, the tall chap. Tallest of all, tall chap. Proud son of Gravesend. That jewel in the nose of Kent. Master of the telling interceptions and nimble side skills. Learned most of seizing body and throb. Nibble on the deck for such a tall chap, such a tall chap. Great granddad chap, great granddad chap. Shot dead in a great dead pub by some old soldier showing off his half-inch Nazi Luger to some of his pals, and it went off unexpected like a silly old sod. When you come from Gravesend, studying for a degree in tourism seems not so very odd. Such a soldier. Candy. Everyone's a little bit in love with Candy, for she is not still in her heart. Candy, the great undiscovered artist. Everyone is a little bit in love with Candy, for she is not still in her heart, but leaping from lily pad to lily pad in her bare feet, laughing. Simon Neville. 35-mile mountain runs in the snow and ice. Simon trains by running up and down a Deptford tower block staircase, turning each day into a ritual of preparation and remembrance. Rattling up north in Gertie's old panda to feed the baby elephants, Goran worship and the Sag Masala from the same takeaway every Friday, unconsumed until the washing up is dried, put away, unchanging indicators on the graph of love. Simon started a philosophy degree at Cambridge and gave it up to learn dry stone walling and fell running on the northern moor. Each step, one step, closer to the truth. Bob Welford. Studio above Bob's fireplace shop in Lordship Lane for 10 years. He never put my rent up once in all that time. The vinyl man with a rock and roll heart, an unreconstructed vinyl builder. Sings in a band, blues and country. Smokes in the shop. If you don't like it, you can fuck off. Outside the open, gathered around the open fire in winter. The Skip Johnnies, the Outlaw Builders, Kenny, and James the Dog, and Popsy, the last rag and bone man in England, sadly missed. Flicker lit in the crackling gloom, the last of the great unwashed. Was outside the armies of gentrification gather, waggle their sticky shilling, expecting their soapy asses kissed. I met James on my first day at art school. I had just left home, but he had the dust of vagabondage sprinkled on his junk shop suit. Escaping from London squats and a doomed punk romance. I thought James would make a good friend, and so it turned out to be. Me, him and Stephen Jakes, with our clothes of Undertaker Black and our gloomy romantic notions. We shared a studio together in Dalston. 7
and cars. Got it, you got it. Come on. Terry Diamond. Terry Diamond. Terry Diamond. 10 years old. Going on 40. 10 years old. And he was going on 40. He was a captain of the school football team. Big unblinking eyes, kind, but somehow always sad. Council estate, unemployed, farm labourer, dad. Big rough hands, big rough hands. Big rough hands, big rough teeth. His voice was really broken. His sweat smelled like inside of a word. He was the man we would all become if only we could. The boy we would all become if only we could. That's Terry Diamond. And Alistair Brushy. He paints big pictures for fat ladies to sing in front of. He knows more about Alfred Sherry than the average punter. Stoke the brain fire, put an untranslated login. Pataphysical fireworks in his snowy noggin. Alistair Brushy. And now for the master of rock and roll, the ringmaster himself, the most reprobate, unembarrassed, unashamed, downright despicable, bad, mad, born in Penge, genuinely eccentric, most lovably talented bastard I know, Mr. Dave Ashton, president for the rock and roll champion. Yes, and his rock and roll champion. Mr. Dave Ashton. As we draw towards a close, Dr. Stephanie Brown of Seton Sluice, PhD from the Cordell Institute, after she'd given up being a chamber punk riot girl, she reviewed a book of mine for a respectable journal, discovering in it, in each other, a kindred spirit, those elements of the holy fool, and later we became firm friends, brought together by our love of Northumberland and art, talking long into the night, talking, drinking, smoking long into the night. Noreen Mulhern chipping in with occasional Donegal farmer's daughter wisdom. And in the morning, the biggest fish and chips in the world, asleep on the train south, back to the smoke. Mandy Sampson. I was so in love with Mandy, I thought I would burst. I brought her home to see the horses that lived behind my house because she loved them, and even my mother was a little bit in awe of her and didn't say much, such was her effect. Later that year, me, Mandy and Adrian Board were the only 3 kids in our school to pass the 11+. Dispatching all my love rivals bar one. Our shared bond of cleverness. But he didn't even like girls, he said, the deluded fools, and next year it would be me alone on the front seat with Mandy Sampson on the school bus to the grammar school. Many years later they called it the Summer of Love. And as those long hot days descended from expectation into tedium, I collected 1,000 lollipop sticks and made them into a Subitio stadium. Suddenly it is the last day of summer. I am wandering along, daydreaming our lives together, making elaborate plans. And going into the woods ahead of me, I see Terry Diamond and Mandy Sampson, and they are holding hands.
have one more thing. We're going to